Fruity here, and this is the Marshmello style track from scratch, and this is part 3 where I'm going to continue to work on some of the sound design and maybe start like getting some of the music and the actual chord progression going. So for those of you who just started on this series, this is where we have so far. So this isn't the actual chord progression I'm going to use for the song. This is just something I put together to test the sound design. So I'm thinking that with this acid bass here, some of you were agreeing that it was developing pretty well, though the delay on it sounded a little bit weird. So I think let's try it without the delay. So I think just the delay made it sound kind of weird there. So for the actual chord progression, what I like to do when starting out songs is, instead of just like picking a random key, I like to pick a key that the synths sound good in. So maybe like an octave lower. Sounds pretty good right here in D. I think it sounds pretty good in D here. So I think I'm going to do this track in D, since this acid sounds pretty well in D major. Now chords don't sound too good with acid stuff like this, because they just don't. You need something that has a lot of harmonies in it for it to sound good. And bass sounds pretty good in D as well. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. So I'm going to move this into D. So since this isn't like a real thing, I was just testing out the bass here, which you guys were saying that this did sound good, so I will keep something with a similar style to this, but I won't like do it in C. So for example, let's move this to D, and then let's see here. So this should go, let's do that. Move this to G. So I'm moving these up because here it is a F sharp, and I'd rather that go to G instead of getting those minor notes in. I don't want to kind of avoid those minor notes, especially for a Marshmello style song where they will still be used, but not quite as much as say like a dubstep song or a trap song. Though it is kind of a trap song, but it's more like a future based trap is kind of a Marshmello style. So yeah. So it'll probably be something more like this. So let's see here. Into the acid, I'm going to get a piano up really quick and start getting some chords. Because I like to start off with chords and then build everything off of the chords there. So we're going to go to a piano. So here's a D chord. Okay, so let's make a track for this. Chords. Let's just make them yellow here to 11. And let's name that chords. And I'm gonna put this on unsorted so I don't have all those audio clips in here. And let's sort this by color. And I notice you have to press it twice sometimes, just so it like really gets it in. So here I have this. Now, let's see, let's probably drag out the chords for a little bit longer. Let's go to C. It sounded pretty good. so yeah, I like this. This is F, yeah. F major, so this does sound pretty good right there. Let's try E. See if E sounds good there. I might want to change that. It's getting a little bit too low there. Let's play this again. Seems like maybe let's try this E minor. Yeah, that does sound better. Okay, so with some chords here, now I'm going to build everything up on top of the chords. That's a way I like to do it. It kind of makes more sense because then it keeps everything in tune when you have the chords to match everything else too. So now I want to make some little acid pattern to the chords. So I'm going to copy this into the acid for now. Paste it in there, and then I'm just going to get rid of all these, just to have the root notes. So this does need some variations, because that is getting kind of boring. So maybe try like a triplet thing. guys can comment that down below if you'd rather have it at D5 or D4, whichever one you think sounds better. Put that in the comment section below. For now, I'm going to keep it down here in D4. But comment down below which octave you like better. Get this bass in there. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now let's go into the bass pattern. So I'm gonna delete this and copy in the lead here. And I'm not gonna have it play exactly what the lead is playing. I'm just bringing this in because it has single notes, so I won't have to delete the chords. And that's too low anyway. Right now, I am working on sidechaining the snare drum to the kick. This is something that I definitely would recommend doing, since, as you can see in here, pause. Now, let's see, is there a way to zoom in? I guess not. So what I have here is the kick is playing pretty loud when it's not being sidechained, and then when the snare plays, it gets compressed quite a bit. And by sidechaining the snare drum to the kick, that is a good thing to do, so you can have both your snare and kick loud, so they can both be heard without it clipping. Because then you have to drop your master volume like a lot. So with so you should sidechain the snare drum to the kick as I've done here, and just get it down. Just enough to where like they don't clip. Like this could be up a little bit more, because you do want to be able to hear the kick a little bit, so the snare doesn't sound completely on its own. So maybe more like right here, and that is a pretty high ratio. So I'll do that. But this is turning out pretty well. I think this is going a little bit slow though. So maybe in here, I just think that this acid should be going a little bit faster. So I do like this pattern here, but I do think that the synth, the acid synth here, should get some more development. So I would like to hear what you guys think on this acid synth here. So like what effects you think should go on this? Because what I kind of think that the prism did help this. That's kind of what I was thinking of getting on. Maybe actually. So yeah, like I was saying, I think it needs a little bit of prism there, and then the harmonizer did help there a bit. But what do you guys think on the EQ? I did take out some lows here, and it sounds kind of noisy because the highs are boosted so much down here in this EQ and in this EQ. Like, do you think it should have this orb in it, kind of thing, like this hum, or should that not be there? That's kind of where I'm like, I'd like to hear your input on that. So yeah, tell me what you guys think on those. And this is turning out pretty well. I think I'm the bass, acid, chords. So tell me what you guys think the acid should be developed in. And this is the chord progression for the song. So So it'll be something like this. So comment down below your thoughts on this, and I'll see you guys in the next week's video. Until then, bye.